Alright, so this time we're going to be talking about two-point perspective, which is a little bit of a different animal than one point. Obviously it employs the use of 2 points. So first of all, we're going to establish our horizon line. I'm going to draw a bit darker this time because I noticed in the one-point perspective sometimes the camera is having a hard time seeing the lines, and I want to make sure that I do everything so that you can see them. So right now I'm going to establish a vanishing point right there and a vanishing point right here, and I will respectively call them VP1 and VP2. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a cube kind of like over in this space right here on this side. So I'm going to take and draw a line down like that, and another one like this. And then from there I'm going to establish the front corner of my cube right here. Now, unlike one-point perspective, where the leading edge of the cube is parallel with the horizon line, in this particular case the lines from this side of the cube go back to the second vanishing point, which is back here, like so. Okay, so now we have the vanishing points located and the front edge of our cube. So we're going to create another edge of our cube here, and then take that line back to the vanishing point number 2, like so. And we'll go on this side of the cube here and establish another line for the other side of the cube and take that back to vanishing point 1. So now we have a cube established, and we're going to put in the imaginary back lines for that cube, like so. I'm not drawing back to the vanishing point like I should be doing, but they go back there nevertheless. Anyway, so that is our front leading cube. And of course, as we know, all cubes that have air around them have dark lines on the sides facing away, so as to establish themselves a bit better, so that they look more natural. So now we have a cube established right here in front, and we're going to now draw another cube, but this time we're going to draw it up higher in the space, like it's floating in the air. We're going to put that one up here. So in order to do that, this time I'm going to establish the front edge of that cube right here, and then we're going to draw a line from vanishing point number 2 to it, and then down from vanishing point number 1 to it. So now we're looking at the bottom edge of that cube up in the air. So I'm going to draw a line over on this side that's going to be the back side of that cube, and back to vanishing point number 2. Then we're going to establish the top edge of the cube like that. There we go. And then we're going to bring that line back to vanishing point number 2 here. And we're going to draw the other side of our cube here and bring that back to vanishing point number 1 like so. Now, in this particular case, because the fact that the cube is floating in space above the ground, that means that all the lines around the outside of the cube are dark, because of the fact that, as we know, there's air all the way around it this time. Alright, so as I warned you about before, as it relates to drawing cubes in a space, if I were to suddenly, say for instance, and I want to make sure I'm not going to get outside of my frame here, I'm going to draw another cube over here. and I'll show you what's going to happen.
Let's see, can I see that? Yeah, right there.
You can still see that.
Okay, so I'm going to use that as the front corner.
Corner of my cube. I'm going to go from vanishing point number 1 back to the vanishing point, and another line to the vanishing point, like that. And I'm going to draw it so that it has a face on it that's a lot like this one here. So I'm going to make it a very similar sized cube. Now I got to take the lines back to vanishing point number 2. And now you're probably going to begin to see the problem. This cube is beginning to get distorted. It's parallelogramming on us as though it were collapsing like a cardboard box that's lost its sides or lost its top and bottom and can now do this. So the reason for that, as I pointed out to you in the video before, is because this cube is drawn outside the cone of perspective. Now the cone of perspective, let me show you in a moment here what that is. If you take the distance between the two vanishing points and say that this is it right here, I'm not sure if I'm dead center in it, but I'm just guessing that that might be where it's at. We'll see how close I came. And I'm going to be using this large triangle here, placing one side of the compass on it right there, and moving the other point out here where the pencil is. And we're going to draw a circle around that. I'm just about on it. Not quite, but just about. And as you can see, this cube is outside of the cone of perspective as measured by my compass point. In order for that cube to stay in perspective, it would have to be drawn inside of that cone of perspective. So you can see how that happens and how you can get distortions really quick. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and draw the inside line of this cube up here so that you can kind of see what that might look like. And then I think we'll probably call this video a video. And we'll come back and we'll do a little bit more with two-point perspective, okay? Anyway, all for now, and I will see you guys in the next video.